not chanting, remembering. Always he wants to taste this world. Beauty and lust and all, drinking wine and killing animals and doing all nonsense. That nowadays people are doing. He was not satisfied with his kingdom and his wife and his children. So he was searching very beautiful, more women to taste. In the forest, Buddhimani intelligence was that woman. Intelligence. And the house which he selected, 9 doors and lakhs windows. But 4. And 9 doors means 2, 1, 2. So these are 9 doors. In upper doors he used to come through eyes and to see beautiful sceneries. By sound he wanted to taste beautiful, sweet things. By tongue, by mouth he used to taste so many things, tastes. And by tongue he used to quarrel and doing chattering, pattering, all these things. So all doors were there. And what was a snake with 5 heads? Hoods. Panchapran. Apan, Vyan, Udan. Like, without anything, if you give here, air will come and it will take easily there. There is also when you are going to pass stool and urine, where you were? Huh?
You got me big.
You are feeling sheep?
No. You gave me an assignment to read the story of
Puranjana. And it has been
I was
told.
trying to read it, but it is very long.
Very long. Now it is 7, more than 7. Class is going to be over. Then easily it comes down, urine, and by the help of air and breathing this is pradhan, prominent bite, pran bite. So all these are like life, but these are not life. Soul is another thing. So the intelligence about this worldly wants to taste whole world. What? Rupa, Ras, Gandha, Shabda, Sparsha. What?
5 objects of the senses.
Sense. But never satisfied till last breathing. Never. And after some times, there is one friend always taking care of and good advices giving. Who is he? Himself, Paramatma. And soul is he. Sakshi, that is Paramatma here. Always giving instruction. You should not do this. Oh, you should chant, remember. You should have a good association. But he never cares for that. And after an old lady came. Who is he? Old age. And forcibly he married. And then he attacked with his whole armies with jars. Jar means? Kashi, cough, cholera, plague, idleness, so many things. and defeats the king and ruins the kingdom. And thus he becomes helpless in the old days. And he tries to be saved by this. But at once Jamdut comes, they come and they take forsake him. After that, he was thinking of his wife, because always he was always he was
absorbed in her.
Too much attachment for this.
that always praising her, flattering. You are so beautiful, you are so qualified, and thus he wanted to be with her. So after this life, he became woman. And after some time, he was married to anyone other. But he has the association of Nara. So some devotion, the seed of devotion was planted in her. So he was married, she was again married to any beautiful, young and devotee king. Malayaj. And with him she was associating also, and after that he received some bhakti. And then he left this body and became devotees. So Narada is telling that if you want to be happy forever, then don't be engaged in all these worldly things. Give up at once. Anyone has not been satisfied in lakhs and lakhs births with husband and wife and in all jonis, species. Never satisfied. Like ghee and fire. By giving fire, that ghee, it will go up. So anyone cannot satisfy. So you should not try to do all these things. Always chanting and remembering. Otherwise you will have to test all these things as Puranjan. So be very careful. You should not think that first time I am young, a beautiful girl and beautiful young boy. So I must marry, and after that I will test and then give up. It is absurd. Lakhs and lakhs births. You have tested all these things. So from beginning, we should be have some vairagya. Vairagya means detachment. You cannot be happy by these things. And sometimes something I am thinking that many of you are realizing. Divorcing 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Even some, it may be in
Greenwich book.
Greenwich book that more than 50 times they have changed, but none now. You can. So he is telling that we should be very strong in these things. Don't waste your time. What about women girls? If that any young boy can be brahmachari, why then it cannot be young, very strong brahmachari? They must be. By soul we are same. By covering we are ladies, woman or male. Only this difference for only by clothes. As by changing sari, if you will take dhoti, kurta and all other things, and then you will become like men, and they will, if they are having so much like long hairs and wearing like women, and then they will be seen like women. But really we are eternal servant of Krishna. So we should try to be happy forever by surrendering ourselves in the lotus feet of Gurudev. Very strong in these things. You cannot satisfy your appetite for worldly senses. Never, never. So don't waste your time. This verse should be given only in chanting, remembering of Krishna. After that, Parikshit Maharaj was so happy. But only 4 days are there. 3 days have been passed. Then he told that I am so much, मैं इसके द्वारा बहुत प्रभावित हुआ.
I'm influenced so much by this.
So much
Influenced.
by this. I know that I want to know how we should proceed in this. Then he told about Bharat Charitra. What is Bharat Charitra? Can you do? Explain. Very brief but very powerful. You should take lesson right here in golden types eternally. All these things. If I am success to write in your hearts all these things, my preaching is successful. I am not telling that you should give up. If you are married, no harm. From there you should chant, remember. And those who are renounced, they should be renounced. Very strong. Very strong. There is nothing in marriage. Only this is Dilli ka laddu. Dilli ka laddu, you know?
They are sweet.
What? Dilli ka laddu? जो खाया वो भी पछताया, जो नहीं खाया वो भी पछताया. What?
This is a sort of laddu, sweet laddu. Who ate it, who did not eat it, he is repenting that I have not eaten it. And who ate it, he also repents. Why I ate it.
Or there is a sweet like it is like this, but very. It will come if you give in mouth. It will be gal jayegi. Melt and come nothing. Bitter taste. Hawaii. Hawaii means made of air.
Don't go to Hawaii, Guruji. I can't go. You don't go.
If Maharaj Yudhishthira went to hell, all the souls suffering there, they become so happy. Oh Prabhu, you should not go from here. Your smell is giving us so much
Really?
So no harm. Go.
So Bharat Maharaj was the son of Rishabdev.
I have no time to explain all these things. There are so many deep things in all these things. If I am going to tell them, I will be engaged only in one upakhyan, this 15 days, in one. But I want that you should listen something.
So Rishabdev was a Shakti Vaishyavatar, a person empowered with a specific potency of the Lord. And he was a king. He had 100 sons. And of these 100 sons, 91 were like Kshatriyas. They were also princes or kings. And the other 9, they were Brahmins. What are they? Navayogendras. And the oldest of all the sons was Bharat. And towards the end of his life, Lord Rishabdev, he gathered all his sons and he instructed them that Bharat was actually a very elevated soul and that they should follow him. So after this, Rishabdev, he went to the forest and he gave up the kingdom and he was living as an avadut. Avadut means one who throws off all rules and regulations. So after this, Bharat Maharaj, he became king, and he was a very powerful king, and he ruled for several years. And then while he was still a young man, he also gave up the kingdom, and he went to the forest in order to perform austerities and in order to develop his love for Krishna. So it is said that he gave up the kingdom very easily, although as conditioned souls in this world, we are very attached to material enjoyments. And Bharat Maharaj, he had great facility for enjoyment. Being a king, he had wealth, and his wife was young and beautiful, so much facility he had for material enjoyment. But he gave it up all very easily because of his awakening of spiritual taste and his awakening of love for the Lord. So he went to the forest, and there he was engaged in deep meditation and worship of the Lord. And it is said that he attained to the stage of bhav, to the stage of rati. At that stage, Swarup Shakti is awakened in the hearts, and one awakens deep attraction to the Lord. So he was at a very elevated stage of spiritual advancement. But one day, he saw that there was a deer who was running from a lion or tiger, and came to the bank of a river and was being pursued. And out of great fear, the deer jumped across the river. And as the deer was also pregnant with a baby deer. And when it jumped across, the baby deer was released from the womb. And the mother deer, when it crossed to the other side, it gave up its life. So Bharat saw all of this, and he became compassionate for the small deer. So he went and rescued the deer from the water, and then began to take care of it, and nourish it and look after it. And gradually his attachment for the deer increased. And as a result, as a result, his spiritual practices and meditation began to dwindle. So his attachment grew more and more for the deer. And then one day, the deer disappeared from the ashram, and he became greatly distressed. He was looking everywhere, but he could not find the deer, and he was lamenting so much. And then the end of his life approached, and just before he left his body, the deer again came. And he saw the deer, and because he was so absorbed in meditating on the deer, when he left his body, he took the form of a deer. Although because of his...
Deer came? I could not understand. Deer came?
At the end of his life.
How he came? Never he returned.
No?
No, no.
Only people he observed it.
Oh.
He was only remembering, oh, where you have gone, where he never returned.
Okay. So,
Remembering and remembering, he died. So when he died, he was remembering, so he became deer in left next life. Go on.
just as Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita, that whatever one meditates on at the time of death, then one will attain to that form. So he attained the form of a deer, but because of his spiritual advancement, he was able to remember his previous life. And so when he took the body of a deer, he was lamenting greatly that why did I become attached to this deer? And I don't want to make the same mistake again. So even though taking birth in the body of a deer, he left his mother and father deer, and he went to the same place where he was performing austerities. And there in the body of a deer, he engaged himself internally in remembering the Lord.
And also having association of the rishis there, because it was situated on the bank of Ganges and Gandaki. So many rishis were there, always discussing Harikatha, Srimad Bhagavatam, Puran and all others. The whole day he used to hear And in morning and evening he used to go to Ganges and take some. And in last, he took Ganges water and he took bath and he left his body. Then he became
Jadabharat.
in Brahman, became as a son of a Brahman boy.
So the word Jad means inert or matter, and he was known
Why
as...
he became Brahman? In the last time, when he was dying, he only thinking, oh, I should be renounced from this world. I will know Brahma, who is Brahma. And thus, thinking this, he have a chance to be a Brahmin boy, and he had chance to develop his Tattva Jnana. So he, Krishna married.
So his father was a very qualified Brahmin, and he was very eager to teach his son all the Brahminical duties. But Bharat was thinking that previously I became entangled in material existence due to attachment for a deer. So he did not want to make the same mistake again. And he was thinking that if he followed carefully the instructions of his father, that so much material facility would come. He would receive respect in society. His parents eventually would want to get him married. So in this way, he would again become entangled in material existence. So therefore, although he was a highly realized soul, externally he behaved like a very dull person.
And like mad.
And like mad. Therefore he was called
Sometimes
Jad.
naked, sometimes here, there. Their brother's wives used to give him
Sister-in-law with the supply.
not good thing, but even he was so healthy and he was happy.
So, because he behaved just like a dull-headed person, very foolish, he was abused and criticized by his brothers and his brothers' wives. But he did not care for this. He was always self-satisfied within. And especially after his father passed away, then his brothers and other family members, they took advantage of him. And they had him doing very hard labor in the fields and just feeding him very coarse grains. But he never complained in any way. So one day, a band of dacoits came, and they were looking for some person, for some animalistic type man to offer in sacrifice. They were worshippers of the goddess Kali. And the person who they had selected for this had escaped from them. So then they came upon this Jadabharat, and they saw that, oh, he is a suitable person for this, because he's just like an animal. He's just very dull-witted. So he's a suitable person to offer in sacrifice. So, although he was very strong and powerful, and he could have resisted, but he was just seeing this as the mercy of the Lord. He was seeing that whatever the Lord desires, I will accept. So he did not resist in any way. And they took him off and took him to the
But
place.
always remembering Krishna, always. Anyone could not understand that always he is in like trance.
So then they took him before the deity of the goddess Kali. And they tied him up, and they were just about to kill him. And at that moment, the goddess burst out of the deity form, and she had many arms and very ferocious looking, with fangs and a garland of skulls and different weapons in her hands. And she immediately decapitated all the dacoits and saved Bharat Maharaj, or Jadabharat. So after this, he was wandering in the country.
When all were given in fire, all the dacoits, Kali began to request him. Oh, you accept me? You don't me in this way. Otherwise, worldly people will not know you. So, please add any offense I have done or done by my persons. Please excuse. I know that you are more powerful than me, but you are playing like a drama. Always Krishna serving is saving me. So be merciful to me. In spite of some mercy that I can do bhajan to Krishna. So the devotees are so high, who are chanting, remembering Krishna, even more than all demigods. Then one day he was sitting in the night, anywhere in field, and what became? Raghuvan came.
So, there was a king, Rahugana, who was traveling throughout his kingdom, and he was carried by the palanquin carriers, and one of the palanquin carriers became ill, so they had to find someone to replace him. So they came upon this Jadabharat, and they saw that he was very stout and strong, so they thought he is a good person to do this job. So they engaged him, but Jadabharat, being a great devotee and not wanting to commit any type of violence towards any living entities, as he was walking, he was looking down on the ground to see if there were any ants there. And so he was walking out of sync with the other palanquin carriers, which made the ride unbalanced and very upsetting to the king. So then the king began to chastise all the palanquin carriers, and they were putting the blame on this Jadabharat. They were saying, it's not our fault, but he's not walking properly. So then the king began to chastise him.
Began to first joke. Oh, you are very big person. You cannot carry so much load. Oh, you are carrying alone. And even he was not speaking anything. Then he became angry. Oh, you are not thinking that I am king? I will punish you. Always remind this. And what he told more?
So, after insulting him in various ways, they went on walking again, but the same scenario happened again. So then the king became angry and began to chastise Jadabharat and wanted to punish him.
You are very fat, you are very strong, still you are going this nonsense. I will punish at once you. I am king of this whole world. Then Jadabharat smiled and very honorably he told something. What he told?
I don't remember all the
You
details.
don't remember? Sit. He told. You remember? Huh? Then you should stand. But don't do so. 1-2 hours. Very quickly.
So, when Bharat Maharaj did again same thing, then king became angry and told, you don't know I am emperor of this world, I am ruler of this world, I can punish you. Then Bharat Maharaj, Jadabharat mercifully told, Rahu ganaitat tapasa.
Not now. It is in the last. Thank you. He told that if there is body, then it is for carrying loads. But who is king? And who is emperor? And who is subjects, praja? You told me that you are very lean and thin first, and then you told me so fat. Who is lean? Who is fat? Who is carrying loads? If there is loads, then it should be carried. But what is that load? And he stopped to tell him. Okay. I was going to Maharaj Kapil Dev. Oh, who is this person? And he jumped up from his palanquin and begged, and he did pranam to the Lord's feet of that Bharat. Who are you? And why you are doing so? But I think I could not understand. I am going in association of Kapil Dev and all races, but I could not understand. Oh, I am same Bharat. So many 100 years past, I was Bharat, and my sons in my dynasty after so long time. I am saying, oh, you are Bharat? I have heard it about so much things. And again and again he began to tell me. I could not understand your all words. You tell that you should try. Atma, I am Atma, so eternal servant of Krishna. But I have forgotten him. And that is now I have come in this shape, covered by this material body and sukshma body of mind, subtle body. And now I am thinking I am fat. You are thinking that you are emperor. For how many days you are emperor? Who is emperor? This body is emperor or this soul is emperor? This body is thin. You are thin or this metal is thin? Who is fat? I know that there is only one load. What load? Load of this body. Thinking all these worldly things. This is only load. The load of palanquin is not load. So we are so, you should understand. Animal is not fat. Atma is what? Partitional. So there should be no any worldly false ego in this. Try to realize Atma. He told that if Atma has no relation with worldly suffering, sorrows and everything, and he is quite separate from this body and mind, then why he is suffering so much? He told that if you take in a vessel water, keep it in fire. He is telling king that take a vessel, in that vessel water some, and keep it on the fire. By fire, the pot will become hot, and by this, in touch water will be, and keep some rice there, that they will be boiled. No direct fire to rice. So if there is Atma here, covered with this body, the suffering of this body will affect that Atma. So, but you are telling that no suffering, no death, nothing is there. How can you realize all these things? Then he told that raho kane tat tapasana jati na chaitya nirvapanad grihatva na chandasa naiva jalagni sujo mahat pado rajo bhisekam. Oh, you cannot know all these things. Only by serving the fit list of realized souls, devotees, so kind of qualified. Only you will take bath by the lotus dust of that kinds of Mahatma, sadhu or devotee. Then you can realize. You cannot realize this by tapasa. Tapsa means austerities. Nacha ijya. Worship. What worship? Ganesh, Durga, Shankar, all. Not here it is told that Krishna worship. Nirvana by vairagya. You cannot realize. By grihatva. Grihat means being grihastha and always doing fire sacrifice. Swaha, swaha. It will not do. Na chandasa, only reading Vedas. Om sahasra shivsha purusha, like this. Likes and likes parts. By Sham, Rik, Jadu, Atharva, Ved, not written by this. Jala, if you are worship water, like we going to Prayag or here, that these are teeth, but not serving devotees like that. Devotees are more powerful than Ganges, water. But that devotee should be devotee, not having any dvesh, animality or envious or anything. He should truly. He knows how to serve Vaishnavas, having prem to Krishna and to reject the persons who are bemukh to Krishna. Always chanting and remembering and adopting Krishna. He has mercy for all. No? Also, Surjai, someone, giving water to Shri, thinking him God. Om Bhurvasva Tat Saviturvaranyam. Some thinks that this is the mantra of sun doing. No, it will affect. You cannot realize God, Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, and you cannot realize by this thing, Atma also. Bina Mahat Padarjobhishekam, like Narad quickly taking one remnant of Mahaprasadam and hearing Harikatha, he became liberated. Ajamil taking only one name and he was revealed his everything. So, only Mahatpajor Vijayabhiresham. Only by the help, by the serving of the lotus dust of such kinds of devotees, anyone can easily realize all these things, otherwise never in whole life. So we should try to serve devotees like this. A guru never tells that bona fide that don't go and listen to Sukadeva Goswami. They cannot. And if they are telling, then they are not good. Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastre God. Law Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastre. He tells. Wherever there is bona fide Harikatha is going on, try to listen. Sukadeva Goswami had not a single disciple. Who were there who assembled there? All were liberated. Who were there? So we should try to go to devotees, serve them and associate them. There is no wall of anything, caste, creed, arguing. Jai Krishna bhaje, na? Say. Kiva vipra, kiva nyashi kei, sudra kenata. He is Guru who is knowing all these things. So, we should try to follow like Bharata Maharaj. We want to follow only for Vairagya, not for his line. We want to go follow the line of Goswami. But his Vairagya is there. Tattva Gyan is there. So we want to learn his Vairagya and his practices. Even he was so high, having, he was qualified to be Rati there in his heart. But he was attached to worldly things like a deer, and he came down for 3 months. Don't try to be like that. Always remember. But quickly, by the association of bhakts, he quickly again had same Rati, and then Rati to Shuddha Pure Bhakti, and then Prema Bhakti, and he was liberated. Today, only this, up to this, again, anything to Cinta kare cha? Go down. None. Gaurav, what is name? Where is Guru Vani? Stand up. She is given new name, Gaurav Priya. Who is Gaurav Priya? Beloved of Gaur Chandra. It may be like Vishnu Priya. So you are lucky to have this name. Gaur Priya ki jai. What's your name? Your daughters?
Daughters can stand up.
What name? Stand up. Oh, Radha Priya is good name. Radha Priya ki jai. Revati. Revati is also so good name. So Revati Devi ki jai. Kirtan? Oh, you should do. And you should do.
One pair of cocktails was lost during Harinam Sankirtan. They belong to Dear Krishna Prabhu. They have also initials. DK is written on the cocktails. Whoever finds and returns them, he will get the reward.
There are so many kartas, so no need. तो तुम किसको दे दिया?
ये कह के दिया था कि लौटाना मेरे को शाम को।
तो लोग मिट गया है? हाँ? हाँ, तो ये सुनो। Just give in mind. So you should keep like this always. Angiya Champiya, like this.
Namaste Gurudeva Sarvasati Padane Sammangurupa Sammanvidane Shri Krishna Veda Katune Sudaksham Adakshmadurya Ganeshaktam Paramparayam Purusham Mahantam Narayanam Siddhasanamami.
Again, Gangeya Champi. Study it in Hindi. Gangeya.
Gangeya Champe Dritvinindi Raji Pravaha Snapidadma Vrinde Vandu Karandu Durirevya Vaso Vrinde Namaste Charanaravindam Pimbara Rodidvara Mandasya Taya Akaya Palava Pushpa Pringa Megari Birmadava Keli Kunja Madvari Birbanti Vipushamana Rinde Namaste Charanarindam Tadiyadutyana Nikunjayuna Radyukayokeli Vilasa Siddhi Tvatsuvakam Kenu Niruchitam Tad Vrinde Namaste Charanarvindam Rasa Vilasho Vasatischa Vinda Vane Tadisham Risaroja Seva Lavya Chapumsam Kripaya Tavaiva Vinde Namaste Charanarvindam Tam Kirta Sesat Vadatam Tavidvir Leela Vidana Kila Krishna Shakti Tavaiva Murti Tulasi Niloke Vrinde Namaste Charanarvindam Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshay Shivya Sakamadi Taranghamadhyay Pipa Maitam Sharanam Prabhana Vrinde Namaste Charanarvindam Vrindastakam Shinuyat Patedva Vrindavanadisha Padapshabringa Saprapta Vrindavana Nityavasam Tattema Sevam Labate Kritata.
No disturbing in tune, very good tune, clear pronunciation, 8 sloks, 9, and it is. So much thanks.
More than her age.
Gaur Prema.
Hare
Everybody out. Mother Careful you don't kill the children on the way.
इसका मतलब कल फिर जाना पड़ेगा। You are not going to Brazil?
No. We'll stay with Gurudev.
We'll go back.
She braided it.
This is the art. This is art only in Brazil, not anywhere. Why? Where you learn this?
In New Brazil.
You did yourself?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Rama 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Rama 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 Hare Right.
Where is your wife? What she is doing? Very West.
She might be chanting now. These little hands every morning. Govinda Dhamma Talamada Beti 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 Govinda Dhamma Talamada Beti
Radhe Radhe
Jai 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 Shri Radhe 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 Jai 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 Shri Radhe 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 Jai 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 Shri Radhe 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 Jai 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 Shri Radhe 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 Jai 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 Shri Radhe 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 Jai 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 Shri Radhe 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 Jai 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 Shri Radhe 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 Jai 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 Shri Radhe 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 Jai 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 Shri Radhe.
Those who are tricked, they should not come.
I know tricks.
I know that.
No tricks.
She is admitting that she knows tricks. She knows. Anyone? Anyone? Quickly, quickly.
You all? Oh, Ramakant.
You get.
You have? You have taken? Very good. Nobody.
Radhe Jai 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 Shri Radhe 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 Jai 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 Shri Radhe 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 Jai 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 Shri Radhe Radhe Radhe.
One
Yeah,
pound.
one.
1 pound.
No, the in 50s.
Huh?
I don't think I will need. If I get standby ticket, it's 140,000.
You are coming to Hawaii, and
Yes.
if there something will be shared, you can give
Okay,
it.
whatever.
Whatever. After taking your tickets, return and everything.
sometimes faces, I can read the face and decide what
is going on.
Oh, what you have done, you will see, because not looking here and
You felt. We're buying some new cassettes today.
Oh, not in class?
We're waiting for you, Gurdy.
Come on. When your husband that house, right? Kaya.
I can remember her. We came so
I was so
far
much
to
worried
see
for you that I'm not going there. How she be? She has forgotten me. But I cannot forget. You can forget.
No, we did not forget.
How is your husband?
Is he here?
No,
he didn't come.
He couldn't come.
And who is he?
This is Narayana.
Your daughter?
Yes, kind of. She's a friend of mine from Eugene. Yeah, she came with also Rathi.
How is my mother?
She's getting old now, but she's okay.
Very jolly.
But she always remembers you too.
You have to prepare something for me.
Okay, so
You are like here for
a few days.
you are coming today, you are also.
No.
Why not?
That's what I said.
You must come, you must come.
Yes, video.
How you want to eat there?
My daughter will live at least 7 days with me.
Otherwise you have nothing to eat.
You should be. No harm. He will just take you.
No, that's not. It's not.
I know.
This is Hariom Singh from Vrindavan.
He was in Vrindavan Gurukula for many years.
I have seen you.
Yeah.
What's name?
Hariom.
भारतीय रहने वाला था तुम हिंदी जानता है
हाँ फिर सीधे
भारतीय था पहले
हाँ भारतीय अभी भी भारतीय
ठीक तुम गुरुकुल में पढ़ता था क्या नाम
हरिओम
Now where you live?
I live in Eugene right now. I came to teach in Bangalore.
Teach what?
He was helping to teach the boys. Yes, Mula, and he was staying with Gopa.
No problem. Sometimes any correspondence with
How much?
Madhura
वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमभक्ताय कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायै तदायै कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय भक्ति तत्व विवेक भुक्ति मुक्ति स्पृहा जावत् पिशाची हृदय वर्तते तावत् भक्ति सुखस्यात्र कथम अभ्युदयो भवेत्. I wanted to explain whole book, but it will take so much time. And the subject is some philosophical. So some of you cannot have so much taste for it. But it is the platform, just like to make a platform for bhakti. So I wanted to explain, but here only today and after 1 day, then we will go to Beijing. So I am going to explain some special things, the essence, that how we can follow this, but try to follow it very strictly. Very strict. If you are not following all these things and chanting only 16 rounds and not doing anything else, or reading some books, it will not do. We should try to make this platform. I know that some devotees taking afim, ganja, also wine, but they cover all these things that anyone cannot see. But their faces tell very, all cannot read, but some can read. So you are cheating yourself. So try to be very bold and very strong in these things. Don't take all these things. Otherwise, Kali will be there. Now I am coming to, we are told that there are 3 aspects of Partattva, Advaya Jnana Partattva. Brahma, Paramatma and Bhagavan. Among these, Brahma, Bhagavan, Paripurna Sarva Shakti Vishisht Bhagavan iti. When that Partattva is Paripurna, with whole his energy, potency, qualities, root, gun, leela and all other things, then he is called Bhagavan. When he enters partly in the hearts of jivas like Sakshi, then he becomes Bhagavan. And when we see only through Gyan, then he becomes like Brahma. But these two aspects, devotees should not have any link with them. The object of the pure bhakti is Bhagavan. In also Bhagavan, there are two kinds of Bhagavan. Bhagavan is one, but two aspects. Where Sarup Shakti is fully there with Supreme Personality of Godhead. All kinds of opulence are there. So it is called Aishwarya, like perfume, Narayana, that aspect. And where there is Sarup Shakti in his fullest, what? Complete, in sweet mood, then it is called Madhurya. What is written there?
Where the internal potency, Swarup Shakti, displays its complete opulence, Aishwarya, there Bhagavan appears as Vaikuntanath Narayana. And where the internal potency displays its supreme sweetness, Madhurya, there Bhagavan appears as Sri Krishna.
Go on.
In spite of being predominant almost everywhere, Aishwarya loses its charm in the presence of Madhurya.
In this world, everywhere, opulence is more powerful than sweetness. But no example of where opulence is covered with what? Sweet things. Not example. Only we can see opulence and we will be charmed. Oh, so opulence. But in world, sometimes a sublime abhas, semblance we can see. That I have forgotten the name of that Prince of England, Charles. He has love for any lady. But lady was not Lord family. No? A prince can marry that lady, but he will not be the king of England. That was banned. And at that time, whole world life, everywhere, British rule was there. Then Parliament told him that you can marry, but you will be deprived of whole being emperor. And he kicked that opulence. And he preferred love to that lady. This is something abhas. Not reflection, perverted reflection. But there in Vrindavan, Golok Vrindavan, always opulence is defeated by this motherhood mood. Always. So, in this world there is no example of this Madhurya mood, very little, rare. So all we are attracted to opulence, not to see, very hard. And those who are like this, they are called Araganuga, only by yoga. if anything will come in the heart for this Madhurya mood, he will always reject at once, always reject. Even he has a little mood, little attraction or greed for that. But it is very rare in this world. Here, bhukti, mukti, spriha, javat, he is telling that these are two kinds of what? You should read the meaning.
As long as the two witches of the desires for bhukti and mukti remain in a devotee's heart.
What name? Pisachi? Witches. What is called witches? Pisachi. In Western countries, they have. That's all. I knew that in India only Pisachis are there.
Western country more than India.
In bhukti and mukti, what bhukti is a desire to sense gratification in any way, and to desire mukti, any kind of mukti. These are two very great wishes. If bhakti will see that they are there, she will never look there, and never come. Bhakti is like a very soft, teeny-aged Brajabalika. Very much. Very soft. Not teeny-aged, but
Tender.
Tender is just born. Very beautiful, very sweet, but very soft. If any यदि धूप जोर से आ जाए, some hot or anything, she will be मुरझा जाएगी. She will be faint. Faint pan murjhana. Murjhana means by wither. So, where there is a little smell of these things too, bhakti will never come. But we see that he is chanting, remembering he has been initiated by anyone, any devotee. Sometimes he weeps, sometimes, chanting so, Hare Krishna, walking so much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, as if he is upset. Sometimes, Srila Narahari Prabhu, one of the best disciple of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati and friend of my Gurudev, Narahari Prabhu. If you see that anyone is chanting Hare Krishna, restlessly, going and then you should think that he will not be in mud now, he will give up this mud forever and he will go away. This is the shit. So, these are Pisachi, devil eaters, not eaters but swallow. Devourers. Whole, and bhakti will go forever. So, go on. Kai Bachi. then Sarup Siddha Bhakti will not come. It may be that Sangha Siddha or Arup Siddha will come. Can you tell what is Arup Siddha and Sangha Siddha?
Arup means to superimpose. So as like,
more loudly as you speak.
For example, if there's somebody who likes to garden, then they think, I will garden so many beautiful vegetables and flowers because I like to garden, that is my propensity. And when the vegetables have grown, then I will offer to Thakurji.
Yeah.
But we are actually doing the activity because we like it and the fruits we are offering to Thakur. So that is like superimposing Thakur onto our desires. So it is called Arop Siddha Bhakti.
Yes.
Those
who are actually not Sarupa Siddha Bhakti, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pad Sevanam, Archanam, Bandhanam, Dashyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedan, or 64 kinds of bhakti, or 5 kinds of bhakti, 3 kinds of bhakti, Nam Sankirtan. Really, there is not. But we are thinking that to make a garden is bhakti, because by that I will serve partly to Krishna. I will make a goshala for 1,000 cows, and some of milk, 1 kilo, I will give daily to Thakur, and rest I will enjoy. So make a garden, to make a goshala is not among the 64 kinds of there are not. But if actually I have offered myself in the lotus feet of my Gurudev and Krishna, and then making any garden fully to serve, then it is bhakti. Where I am doer and all things are mine, and among them something I am taking and offering to Krishna. This is Arup Siddha. Like Jat Karoshi, Jadashnashi, Jajjuhoshi, Dadashi Tap, Jat Tapasyas Kanteo, Tad Purusha Madarapanam. You should, arpan means? Offer me.
But if someone is offering nearly everything, if someone is offering nearly everything,
even it is Arup Siddha. Who are you? Are doer of all these things? You are not doer. You are the eternal servant of Krishna. Eternal. So your everything will be for Krishna. You are not doer. I am doing anything to please Krishna because I am him, of him. This would be there. Otherwise, Arup Siddha Bhakti. And Sangha Siddha Bhakti, what is Sangha Siddha?
Sangha Siddha Bhakti means, for example, I am not devotee, I am not Vaishnava, but if I come into the Sangha of Vaishnavas, then some of their qualities will come into me, like humility and charity.
Can you tell?
Well, my understanding is that Sangha Siddha means that someone is developing the qualities which are favorable for Vaishnavism, but there is not actual bhakti in the manifestation of those qualities.
Like this. Okay? Or anything more you can tell?
Sangha Siddha means that which is...
Very carefully you should hear.
Sangha Siddha means that which is associated with devotion. So, just like in Shikshastra, it said, Pranara Pisa Nichana Taravara Pisa Ishnana Manina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadhari. So, as one is performing bhakti, there are different qualities which are said to be qualities of the devotee, like humility, tolerance, peacefulness, kindness to others, non-violence, etc. So if one is exhibiting these different qualities, with some connection to devotion, they'll be known as Sangha-siddha bhakti. But those qualities in and of themselves are not bhakti.
You should say, where there is no Sarup Siddha Bhakti, nothing Sarup Siddha Bhakti, Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Vishnu. But these are in devotees something, like 26 kinds of qualities, which has been told in Srimad Bhagavatam. Kripalu, Akrita Droha, Satta, Sar, Mauni, and all other things. They are really no bhakti, Sarup Siddha, Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu. They are helpful. So, if they are with bhakti, they are also called bhakti, but Sangha Siddha Bhakti, not Sarup Siddha Bhakti. What I told you.
You said that where the 26 qualities of devotee are present.
These are not anywhere found them, not related. Only one. That is related. And all 25 kinds of all these are like virtues, good virtues.
So where these 25 qualities are present in a devotee, that they are favorable to bhakti, but they themselves, they're not Swarup-siddha bhakti. And you gave example of the renunciation of Raghunath Das Goswami.
Yeah.
That though he is Mahabhagavad, but his renunciation still is an example of Sangha-siddha.
His Vairagya and all other things. But he was in Raghunath Das Goswami, so his Vairagya is also natural and bhakti. But if separated from bhakti, that virtues, they are not. So, in this word,
when we are using this word Sangha Siddha Bhakti, this means when it is associated with Samrup Bhakti. When we use this term,
related, anyhow, then they will be called bhakti, but Sangha Siddha. We should know and try to differentiate them and try to follow Sarup Siddha Bhakti. And you can see that all virtues and all Arup Siddha Bhakti will come automatically in him, in Shuddharu, in pure form. If he is doing brooming is not in any of bhakti. Brooming, but brooming will also be bhakti. Pure bhakti. So anything done for Krishna pleasing, stool clearing, everything will be bhakti if our bhakti is here pure. Now he is defining. Go on.
In the Jaya Dharma, when the Mayavadi sannyasi comes into the association of the Vaishnava, he has so many good qualities from his practice of Dharma.
Yeah.
So is this a case of Sangha Siddha Bhakti?
No. When he was in Kashi performing all these things, it was for mukti. They are helper of mukti. So they are not Sangha Siddha. But when he came and he took initiation and he surrendered and he began to do Sarup Siddha Bhakti, then all bhakti was turned into Sangha Siddha.
So then that became Sangha Siddha Bhakti.
But when he was pure devotee, then they were not Sangha Siddha.
So the same qualities, first they were Sangha Siddha, then they became Swarup Siddha.
Yes. ये तो कहो इस जन्म में निरोग रहना, स्वदस्तु भोजन की प्राप्ति, भक्ति मुक्ति स्प्रिया, भक्ति मुक्ति स्प्रिया,
Yep. Right after that. As long as the two witches of the desires for bhukti and mukti remain in the devotee's heart, not even a fraction of the pure happiness derived from Surupsita Bhakti will arise.
Go on.
Both bodily and mental enjoyment are considered bhukti.
What?
Both bodily and mental enjoyment are considered bhukti.
Bhukti. Go on.
To make an extraneous effort to remain free from disease.
Here. Don't talk. Again.
To make an extraneous effort to remain free from disease. To desire palatable foodstuffs, strength and power, wealth, followers, wife, sons and daughters, fame and victory are all considered bhukti.
Bhukti means? Sense. All are. That I should be very healthy. A rich person. I will do this, that. All are what? In bhukti. And after death, what?
To desire to take one's next birth in a Brahmin family or in a royal family, to attain residence in the heavenly planets or in Brahmalok, or to obtain any other type of happiness in one's next life is also considered
any kind of happiness for me, for your own, all are included in. If you have, think yourself, then no bhakti. Very hard, but very easy. Go on.
Practice of the eightfold yoga system and to desire the 8 or 18 varieties of mystic perfections are also categorized as bhukti. The greed for bhukti forces the jeev to become subordinate to the 6 enemies headed by lust and anger. Envy easily takes over the heart of the jeev and rules it. Hence, to attain Shuddha Bhakti, one has to remain completely aloof from the desire for bhakti. To abandon the desire for bhakti, a conditioned soul need not reject the objects of the senses by going to reside in the forest.
What is the meaning? He told. What he told?
One need not, to renounce the objects of the senses, one need not leave material world.
That these are those things of sense gratification. If we want to get rid of them, for this it is not required that we should go to jungle and forest.
Then what should we do?
Merely going to reside.
So for this, you will have to take sannyas or brahmachari life or go to dense forest. It is not essential. But there is something essential. What is that?
Merely going to reside in the forest or accepting the dress of a sannyasi will not free one from the desire for bhakti.
What meaning? The meaning. What is the meaning?
If one tries to dryly renounce.
If you are going to forest, dense forest, Bhakti knows the way where you have gone. He will take strength and at once quickly follow you there also. If you are even in water, ocean, anywhere in this planet, you will not get rid of that. If you are taking sannyasi ways, tilak, mala, everything, quickly he will go there. He knows that he is actually not renowned. He has wish to sense and enjoy sense. So at once go and follow him. And then lust will come, anger will come, all 6 enemies will come. And your bhakti will, if it is Shraddha, very little fraction of Shraddha, it will also go. So be very careful for it. Only taking sannyas and red cloths or tilak mala, even initiation also taking. Oh, she knows that you have not taken initiation. What we take in initiation by fire sacrifice it is external. We should try to take it internal. So this mukti, this wishes, know whether he is a real devotee or not. If not, she will follow. Go on.
If bhakti resides in the devotee's heart, then even while living amidst the objects of the senses, he will be able to remain detached from them and will be capable of abandoning the desire for bhakti.
Bharat Maharaj left this world, went there. It may be that he has some attachment for God. So attachment there, it went to a dear boy and he was dispelled from there. So we should think like this. Go on.
Therefore, Srila Rupa Goswami says, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Urujjim Dhatastakara Janasya Bhajane Hare Vishayeshu
Garishtovapi
Arakaprayo Viliyate Manasaktasya Vishayanyataham Payunjataha Nirvanda Krishna Sambandhe Vairagyam Chate Parapanchikataya Adya Arisambandhi Vastana Mamukshuri Parityago Vairagyam Andhukatyate.
These are sloks of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu of Rupa Goswami. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur always remember, everywhere. For beginners, this is important. Otherwise, Bhakti will come. Anasakta Sabhisyan, you should read this meaning. Very, very attentively. Don't sleep. Don't be idle. Try to know.
When the jeev develops a taste for Krishna bhajan, at that time his excessive attachment to the objects of the senses starts gradually fading. Then with a spirit of detachment, he accepts the objects of the senses only according to his needs, knowing those objects to be related to Krishna and behaving accordingly. This is called Yukta Vairagya.
Renunciation. Knowing what is Yukta Vairagya? बोलिए तो आप, what is Yukta Vairagya?
Accepting only those things which are favorable for our progress in spiritual life and rejecting all those which are not. So, Yukta Vairagya means that we have to discriminate what we should use for Krishna and Guru service and others we should quit.
You? Yes.
To accept things.
More loudly.
To accept the object of the senses in the service of Krishna and engaging those things in the service of Krishna.
What it was?
So use the object of the senses only in relationship to service of Krishna.
ठीक बोल रहा है? Is telling, okay?
Yukta Vairagya means appropriate renunciation. It means to understand that everything belongs to Krishna, nothing belongs to me. Therefore, in that sense, there's nothing.
But not talking fully. Only what we require to maintain our life, we can take. If you are going to Puri, in Anand Bazar, have you seen Anand Bazar? You know the name? You all? Anand Bazar is the market of Mahaprasadam. So, varieties of preparations of laddu, puri, kachori, so much dal, very delicious, and so many sweets, various kinds of sweets. And if you think that all are Mahaprasadam, So we should take daily all delicious foods up to here. Then what will be? You cannot chant, you will have to go to bed. Right. It may be that you will be so fat, and then you can require of a very beautiful Seva Dashi. Seva Dashi, you know? Seva Dashi are beautiful boy friend. So we should not take only to maintain our life. We can take very little. And then praying Prasade, Govinde, Nam. Not only uttering, taking it here. I am not going to eat Mahaprasad, I am going to serve. When I am taking name, then I am serving Krishna name. When I am reading any book, I am serving Bhagavat. When I am chanting name, I am serving Krishna. Like this. Always serving both. Then you will get rid of Maya, otherwise not. Go on. So you should try to follow Yukta Vairagya. But sometimes we do opposite to this. By the name of following Yukta Vairagya, we do everything. Like last Thursday, we played a drama of Gita Sansar. So we should not try to be very boldly and strongly, we should try to follow this Yukta Vairagya. Raghunath Das Goswami was Yukta Vairagya. Gaur Prasad Das Babaji Maharaj, Pundarik Vidyanidhi, Raya Ramananda, all the devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Like this. Oh.
The renunciation of those who, desiring liberation from matter, reject the objects of the senses, considering them to be illusory, is called palabu or useless.
What? Yeah, bolo.
After sense gratification, if one comes to this conclusion that this is full of miseries, then he desires that we should give up sense gratification totally and get the liberation. And such type of desire of renunciation is falgu, that is artificial vairagya.
You should again explain. Oh, without sin.
Just as Ramachandra Prabhu was saying, that if one is seeing that in engaging in sense gratification, one is getting so much misery, then, as it is stated here, one will see this as useless, and then they will falsely try to renounce, without having the proper realization that ultimately everything is part of Krishna's energy, and everything should be utilized in Krishna's service. So such dry renunciation is called falgu vairagya, false renunciation. Because externally there's renunciation, but in the heart there's still so much desire to enjoy the abundance. So ultimately one will have to enjoy again.
Like Mayavadi, they reject all these things, all the beautiful things, that this is Maya. Noiti, noiti. Noti means, oh, this is Maya, rejecting all this. But Vaishnava knows that if you are rejecting everything, you will die at once. Why not in this way that all the things in the whole world are of Krishna, only of Krishna. Nothing is separated. So we can utilize all these things as a paraphernalia. And he used it to offer Krishna. And what are essential to maintain our life, we can take. Otherwise, if you are rejecting everything, that it is Mahaprasad seeing, but not Mahaprasad, delicious food you are seeing. Harinam Kirtan, you are seeing like, oh, sound like material sound. Any Vaishnava sing, oh, this is only dead body like that. So, this is Maya. So, we should be not Falgu Vairagya. Falgu Vairagya means a river in Gaya. Undercurrent. You can see only sands upside. But if you take some sand there, oh, you will see that current is there. So, externally, we are giving up all rejecting, but by heart, internally, he is wishing so much. So, this is Falgudubara. Or Markat Vairagya. Monkeys has nothing, no houses, nothing. But always their sight is there, where any fruit, vegetable, anything to eat. Always enjoying with female monkeys. They have nothing else to do. So their vairagya, nakedness, nothing only of his own.
No possession.
No, nothing. So this is Falgu Vairagya, Markat Vairagya. Sometimes Smashan Vairagya. Smashan Vairagya means anyone is dead in India.
Crematorium.
Crematorium. That anyone has died and you have taken him to burial ground. All are weeping. Then you see that, oh, one day all will die. So I also must die. Now I am renounced. I have nothing to do with anybody. And he became so renounced. And when he returned to his home, his motherless mother had died. Motherless children were weeping and father saw. At first in burial ground he became like that. But when he returned, all boys were weeping and they came in the lap of father. And then again Markat Vairagya went and he began to be attached with them. So these are not Vairagya. These are called Markat Falgu Vairagya. Go on. You should always know that if Bhakti is coming, his two sons are bound to come. Gyan and Vairagya. And then Gyan and Vairagya, that Tattva Gyan and Yukta Vairagya are helping always. Otherwise, if you have no Bhakti, there is Gyan and Vairagya, they will pull you, drag you to hell.
It is not to renounce the objects of the senses, but changing the enjoying tendency towards them while maintaining an understanding of their relation to Krishna cannot be called sense gratification. Root, form, ras, taste, gandha, smell, sparsh, touch, and shabd, sound, are the objects of the senses. We should try to perceive the world in such...
This is more important. Listen it very carefully. What?
We should try to perceive the world in such a way that everything appears related to Krishna.
Yes.
Meaning that we should see all jivs as servants and maidservants of Krishna. See gardens and rivers as pleasurable sporting places for Krishna.
What he told? Oh, Prabhu, what he told?
I was not listening to it.
Huh?
My mind is somewhere else.
Why? 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 You should repent. For a moment you should stand up. Again here. You should wait.
We should try to perceive the world.
I know who are not hearing. I am not mentioning. I will mention them and I will tell them also to stand up. All. I know. some consideration towards half of these. not fully, but no consideration, no concession to you all, especially red cloths. Okay?
We should try to perceive the world in such a way that everything appears related to Krishna, meaning that we should see all jivas as servants and maidservants of Krishna.
Here.
See gardens and rivers as pleasurable sporting places for Krishna. See that all types of edibles are to be used as an offering for his pleasure. In all types of aromas, perceive the aroma of Krishna Prasad. In the same way, see all types of flavors are to be relished by Krishna. See that all the elements we touch are related to Krishna, and hear only Harikatha, or narrations describing the activities of his great devotees.
How we can see? Now you can see, but be attentive. Don't take your like hearing, but oh, you will know very well. Oh, he is not here. Don't do like this. This is important now that what we are thinking. Let come here, expensing so much, so many hundreds of dollars, only to hear, not to take enjoyment or anything. If you are thinking like this, you must be there, not coming there. So find on your mind. No? Now you can tell.
See everything in relation to Krishna. Everything is related to Krishna. Everything is for Krishna's service.
How you can see that mountains, rivers and gardens are Bihar Bhumi of Krishna, enjoyment places of Krishna. How? How we can see?
If you see a tree that is bending over, you can think it's like Vrindavan, where the trees are in separation from Krishna. If you see a lake, you can think that it's like Radhakund or Shama.
You should see very easily like this. Oh, beautiful garden.